Something cool online here with the guys from Real Big Fish. How you guys doing today?
Good, what's happening? Glad to be here.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Dan Regan. I play the trombone and sing like a maniac on stage with the Real Big Fish.
And my name is Rylan Steen, and I play drums in the Real Big Fish.
Very cool, very cool. Now I understand you guys got Candy Coated Fury coming out, is that right?
That is true. 1 month, one more month.
Yeah. Yeah, we worked really hard all spring, and in between playing shows, managed to squeak out a record.
You guys just put out a little teaser for that on the 6th, right on your website?
Yeah, we were anticipating people sort of leaking the songs anyway, so we were like, well...
Beat him to the punch.
Right.
Our fans tend to worry a lot, about what our records are going to sound like. They're at that age where identity is really important, and so if the record is going to be like an older sounding Real Big Fish record, well, that's really important. We got to know this. We got to blog about it. So we like to put out the teaser things just to reassure them.
Put everyone at ease there.
That we're not like a hip hop group all of a sudden or something.
Right. Now this time you guys basically put this album out yourself. You guys broke away from the label that you guys were working with.
Yeah.
Now, did that make things a little bit easier for you this time? Did it help you do stuff you were never able to do before?
It definitely makes it easier just because you don't have to, you don't really have to answer to anyone.
Right.
There's a little bit of added pressure just because it's all on you now. Like you don't have to, a lot of bands who are signed to labels, they can always kind of blame it on their label for why a record didn't work or not. But so there's a little bit more added pressure because it's all the responsibilities on us. But we work with a distribution company / record label called Rock Ridge Music, and they've been great because all we really have to do is just make whatever record we want to make, and we just turn it in, and they release it, and they help us promote it and get it out there. So the relationship works out great. So yeah, just not having to deal with all the politics that come with being on a major label. There's so many channels of people that have to approve things, and it just goes up the chain, and by the time something actually gets approved, you're kind of over it anyway. So when we left Jive Records, there were projects we wanted to do. We wanted to put out a live album, we wanted to put out a covers album, we wanted to do a best of kind of compilation of all the albums,
and we get a lot of guff from our fans because for the past 5 or 6 years we've been doing these albums, but it's sort of been a training process. We've built a studio and sort of figured out, sort of perfected the sound in that space, I guess. So we had to be ready to make a new record, I guess.
Yeah.
Also.
Definitely.
Very cool.
We had all that practice with Rock Ridge and figuring out how to put these records out and get them. The whole landscape was changing, so all of a sudden you didn't really need to put records in stores. Oh, okay, well, maybe there's one store left or 2 stores.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you might find one
it's
somewhere,
it's pretty interesting how already the 1 or 2 generations, the generations out, right, the young kids out now, they don't even know what a record store is anymore. It's just crazy to think about.
There's the novelty of like a vinyl shop.
Yeah.
Well, it's always cool sometimes when you see these shows that go on, when you go out and you're at this merchandise booth and you see like a record and things like that.
Yeah.
Some of these younger kids are just like, "Oh my God, what's this?" Like,
Yeah.
Is that a poster? Or what is? You know what I mean? Like, so it's different now. I mean, now it's iTunes. Obviously, I'm sure that's where it's going to be released.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get iTunes to put it up on their site, but our record, Candy Coated Fury, will eventually be up there. With the vinyl, we find it really helps to press them up in bright colors.
Oh yeah.
So they look at it. What's that?
Yeah,
I want
we'll
that.
get one of those for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting how vinyl sales have gone up so much, and I think it's part of that's just because it's almost like an art collector's piece or something at this point, like, because everyone just gets records digitally now anyway. It's funny how
sometimes it's nice to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold it in your hand and be able to, like, this is, show your friends, show the artwork. You know what I'm saying?
And for some reason, like a vinyl record with the cover art just seems more appealing than a CD for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's bigger.
Bigger size.
But it's interesting how that switch is taking place, is already taking place.
Now, speaking of cover art, you guys had Tom Foolery. He's the one who did the artwork for this new CD, right?
Yeah, we'd worked with him in the past with like other stuff. I think T-shirts or Aaron kind of had like a relationship with that, and it definitely matches a lot of this. A lot of this record is Aaron. You know, it's like his personality all smeared all over it. So the artwork is definitely a lot of that.
Very representative of the sound of the music. You know, you have this kind of happy-go-lucky music behind sarcastic, sometimes hateful lyrics.
Right.
But I think that's kind of what makes it all work. You know, if you had happy lyrics with happy music, it would just sound cheesy. But because you have this kind of dark lyrics going with this happy music, it all kind of evens each other out. So
And we've
it's
always
kinda cool.
described the band as Candy Coated Fury probably for decades. I mean,
Yeah.
since the beginning.
We came up with our own genre of music.
Yeah, definitely did. You guys definitely did. Now, the single you guys got out for this is "I Know You Too Well to Like You Anymore." Is that right?
Yeah, we can almost play it too.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah, we've been practicing it at soundcheck. Yeah, we seem to go down this path each time we do a recording project where, you know, everything's sounding great in the studio, but then by the time we start getting to the road, it's, you know, start getting on tour, it's wait, how did that part go? I don't know, I can't remember. Wait, you know, and it's sort of finding our sea legs, you know, with
Right.
these new songs, but they're starting to sound good, and you know, and I think we're using the opportunity like at soundcheck to learn, really get these songs down, you know, so that once the record officially comes out and people really know the songs, then we can start really playing them for real. Like we've been sneaking in a few new songs, and you know, kids kind of get into it. But I think it's good if you don't tell the audience that it's a new song, you just play it.
And see what the reaction is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Otherwise, they'll study.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
they'll
you say
really enjoy it.
yeah, if you say here's a new song, they're like, okay, all right. And if you just go into the, you know, we find that if you just go into the next song, people just seem to get into it, and then afterward you tell them, and that's a new song coming off our new. Oh, you tricked us! Ah, damn it!
I got my iPhone out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it up there.
It's hard to. We practice the songs at soundcheck, but then we get up there on stage and we forget that a lot of the show is jumping around and going crazy, and that's not something that we practice. So that's been hard, actually.
Everyone is very stoic
They're like,
at
"Oh,
soundcheck.
what do we do here? Okay, dance.
Now, with you guys performing these songs on the road before the album comes out, does that help you sometimes maybe change the way the sound goes, or?
Sure, yeah, because there's always gonna be things that work well in the studio
Mm-hmm.
and that just don't necessarily translate live.
Right.
So it does give us a chance to sort of kind of re-examine our parts and, you know, move things around if we need to, and
Yeah, all winter in Europe we were doing these songs at soundcheck, and also throughout the spring,
Mhm.
sort of fine tuning it all. And then we still went in the studio and changed a lot of stuff. Changed keys and everything. Actually, on that song, "I Know You Too Well," that's our bass player Derek's girlfriend Julie singing,
yes.
and then live our sax player Matt sings the girl parts. And, he's
Very
done quite
cool.
well lately.
It's very homoerotic. It's become a very homoerotic song live.
For sure.
Yeah.
Two men singing to each other. It's always good.
Yeah, definitely.
We're the next Wham.
Now, people want to get a chance to see you. They got a whole summer of opportunities. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we're going to be on tour. The first part of the tour is with Goldfinger,
Mhm.
and that's been great. We have a few more weeks with them, and then also on the tour is Big D and the Kids Table.
Right.
And they're going to step up and take the main support slot when Goldfinger leaves next week.
Right, and then we have another band, Suburban Legends, who's been around for a long time, and then we're gonna have a band called the Maxis,
Okay.
which is kind of just a weird kind of punk band. They wear these like Mexican wrestling masks when they play, and they just kind of berate the audience the entire time, and
That's always fun.
yeah, it's like punk rock music with Andy Kaufman.
Little Tony
You know,
Clifton in
yeah,
there.
little Tony
they're
Clifton
like the
type.
bad guy Aquabats or something.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. It's the Aquabats nemesis.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of fun bands, and we tour every summer, so it's nothing new for us, but it's always fun. It's always interesting. You never know what kind of crowd you're gonna get, but the crowds have been great so far. So hopefully they'll just keep keep
on rocking.
keep on rocking and coming out. And
we're excited to have a solid ska band lineup. You know, proving that the ska tour can still go around the country and be badass. I guess.
Yeah.
Not just the country. You guys are actually going over to Europe mid-season, right?
Yeah, we've got some festivals over there, so it'll be nice to see Europe in the summertime. We're usually over there in January and February and just swamped in snow. So
it's going to be the first time we'll get to see Russia in the summertime.
Very cool.
Normally, it's whenever we've gone there, it's always just
Pretty bleak.
it's pretty cold and snowy, but I suppose in all those like spy movies, and they're always in Russia. Like that's how I picture Russia. Is
I always
winter and
imagine
cold, and that's how
sniper scope on the back of my head wherever I go.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be nice, and we're playing some festivals over there, and
It's the problem with being children of the '80s.
yeah,
You just can't get over that accent.
Yeah, right.
They're always the bad guy.
Exactly.
They're wonderful.
wonderful people. It'll be exciting though because we're doing this festival in Russia, and we never played any Russian festivals before, so I'm looking forward to that to just see what sort of crowds come out. I'm wondering if they're just all.
Do they wear pants?
Do they?
Know.
Yeah.
There may be a
do they wear
traditional
clothes?
thing
Do they wear?
where
do
it's
they
like
wear,
a non-pants summer.
Yeah.
Because I know.
See you guys in your blue jeans. They might be like, "What's going on here?"
Whoa! Hey, blue jeans, nix the pants.
Well, I'm just excited. Well, the main thing I'm excited for is because that time of year, like it really doesn't get dark ever because you're so far north.
Right.
Like I think it only like nighttime. Like it never really becomes it never really becomes nighttime. So I'm excited to see that like at midnight where like not the sun won't be out, but it'll be like
it'll still be.
It'll look like dusk or whatever. It's crazy.
That should be very cool.
Anyway,
Now
it's not the music. No, it's nature.
It's dusk.
It's dusk that I'm looking
Dusk with
forward to.
friends.
Yeah.
Now, what's the website so people can take a look when the album's coming out, get it, the tour dates?
It's Reel REEL big fish.com.
Yeah.
For a lot more information, we have our Facebook page, which
Okay.
I'm pretty sure is just Real Big Fish.
You'll
Facebook.
find it.
You'll find it. Yeah, I think if you go to our website, about all there really is just tour dates at this point. It seems like nobody.
That's pretty much all we do is tour.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
it
all
was
that
tough
matters,
fitting
you know?
the record into those little weekday non-touring spots.
Yeah. Yeah,
throughout
like
the spring.
we're not.
We feel like it really informed the frenetic energy of it. We've always, over the years, tried to capture our live show in record form, and it's really hard. We're like, well, do we jump around while we record? How does it? We realized just putting ourselves through a grueling sort of schedule of recording. I think we did all the horn stuff in 3 days or something like that. Just only 1 or 2 takes, and I hope we get it. Ah!
Well, you guys got your own studio, right?
Right. So, it's not like it's a budgetary thing. It's more like it's the best way for us to sort of capture the energy. Because the music really needs that. Otherwise, it starts to sound like...
Yeah, if it's too methodical, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like my first ska band kind of band.
Yeah.
It has to be very confident. Everyone's heard terrible ska bands, So,
Right.
So part of it is having that energy and being really, really confident about it.
What he said.
Yeah.
Definitely. And what's the release date for the new CD?
It's officially July 30th.
That's what I've heard,
Yeah.
so I'll go with that. I'll buy that.
And they can
I get in trouble. I keep saying all kinds of dates in interviews, but I've heard July 30th is appropriate.
Sounds good to me.
We thought, we handed it in. It's done. It's what? How long does it take to send it out on the internet? It must be
right.
out,
I'm sure one of those websites got
Yeah.
it already for you.
Yeah.
And where can I get it? At the site or stores?
I'm sure you could get it on iTunes, I would think. I don't want to say anything. I don't know where you could get it. I'm just going to say that the album will be available for purchase on July 30th.
Yeah, we'll definitely have it with us at the shows by July 30th.
Yeah.
I don't know how long each official internet site takes to get it for sale. I know for iTunes it takes 3 months sometimes, so we turned it in June 1st. It may be a little while, but
You don't want to speculate
yeah,
on
yeah.
when
But all
it may
the other
not be
ones,
available.
We've gotten in
wherever's
trouble
still
for
running.
saying things before in interviews, so we don't know. We'll just say July 30th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get
sounds
our
good.
album.
Wherever you get music legally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, wherever you pay for it for you guys.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is just take a look at your Facebook, and
Yeah.
all the updates will be there.
Yeah, we're on that thing every day. I mean, we run it from the bus here with our phones. So when you're talking to anyone on there, usually talking to Aaron, or I'll get on there and be cranky for a little bit. So
Well, that's cool that it's you guys. I mean, because sometimes you go to these sites and it's definitely somebody in an office and they're just like, oh, it's a great
yeah,
day
that's
outside.
like you were
and,
saying. That's part of being,
middle America.
right. It's welcome to India. Yeah, it's part of being an independent group is that, like rather than saying, you have to also take responsibility for when anything goes wrong, and part of that is getting up there and saying you're sorry and pleading with people, and or, at least explaining the situation when you can't make a show. And then we find that it's better to just have full disclosure with these fans anyway, because they're awesome and they're gonna figure it all out anyway. So
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys.
So we'll see you.
Appreciate everything. Make
Thank
sure
you.
Get a chance, check them out on tour,
Yeah.
and get that CD July 30th, one way or another.